Tickle, this fort's right down here. Man, look at that thing.
I tell you what, you know, they don't build stuff like that anymore, do they?
I've never been inside of a fort.
Well, there's some thick walls, I know that much.
Some big old guns right there. David!
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Charleston.
So, David, you know, Tickle and I, we travel all over the place. We're trying to recreate recipes, digging up old recipes, bringing them back to life. There's one particular, a Jimmy Red corn moonshine.
Oh, yeah.
Actually famous right here in the Civil War time.
You're in the right place because this is where the Civil War started, this very place. It was from these guns at 4:30 in the morning on April 12, 1861, that the Confederate forces fired at Fort Sumter right out there in the middle of Charleston Harbor, beginning the Civil War. This has been a really significant place in U.S. history.
I wonder how loud this thing was and how it was to fire this thing, man.
You don't know how to shoot that thing.
Look, there's a sight right yonder. You just get right up here, Tim, and you eyeball it.
Tickle don't know what he's doing. This is where the Civil War started, but I'm here on a bigger mission. I want to know about Jimmy Red corn. How did it play a part in Charleston? Where did the Jimmy Red come from? I heard a story about they was making moonshine in Hellhole Hollow around here. You know anything about that?
Well, there was a lot of activity down in the swamps. Charleston, up until the Civil War, was a peach brandy place. But the Civil War comes, the peach trees get stripped bare, and they're looking for a new kind of liquor. So it wasn't until after the Civil War that this red corn comes in from Georgia. This was the corn which made the Low Country, Charleston, thrive.
Jimmy Red corn has a whole lot more to do with saving Charleston than just making moonshine.
Through Prohibition, everyone tried to get a hold of it.
I want to recreate this Jimmy Red corn moonshine so people really appreciate what was made during the Civil War times. But with no recipe, we need to talk with some people that's working with the corn today. Tickle, we're gonna head over to Highwire Distillery, talk to Scott and Ann. They're actually making a bourbon from the Jimmy Red corn. Learning their modern-day techniques of how they ferment and how they distill in this Jimmy Red corn will give us some education on what to do with this and how to recreate it. And here we are.
Yeah, there it is. I tell you what, I can smell it.
Yeah, got some tanks, ain't there? Hey, guys.
Great
how you
to
doing?
meet you guys.
Looking with Scott and Ann.
You found him.
Yeah, look, you know, I could smell the fermentation when we were walking in, and man, it smelled great.
Yeah. Speaking of fermentation, that is why we're here.
So how can we help you guys?
You know, we want to make a Jimmy Red moonshine. We found out you've been working with Jimmy Red.
This corn is special.
It was unique, and it actually created a different flavor profile and really a different mouthfeel than any other product on the market.
I was hoping maybe you could show us, tell us about it, so that way we can be as authentic as we can in recreating this.
We got it all going on today, so we got mashing, fermentation, distillation. So let's go over
I
here.
understand. You got a big still here.
Yeah. We're able to produce about 6.5 barrels a day off this guy.
I'm noticing a lot of red color right there.
Right, yeah.
In that grain. Is that the Jimmy Red that's running right now?
That is Jimmy Red.
If you screw that window off right there and probably get a taste of that right there, I
Well,
bet it'd be good, nice and warm.
I bet that's nice and warm, but you know.
What about the fermentation now?
Why don't we go around and check out where it all starts with the mash?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah,
All right.
sounds good to me.
All right. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. 50-some years I've been around distilling and making mash. I never seen a corn have so much oil as this. Is that a problem or is that a plus?
It just adds a real good viscosity to the whiskey. You know, it just gives it a heavier mouthfeel.
Now, did you think about skimming some of this oil off?
No, it was so flavorful. It was almost like a lot of the corn flavor had been concentrated in that oil. So
Okay.
we didn't think twice about just blending it right back in.
I was very surprised to see much oil in this mash. So I'm a little bit skeptical of distilling. I mean, is this gonna be that it scorches real easy? I don't know. This is something different.
Any special process that this oil adds to the
I think
distillation?
agitation is important to kind of keep it moving so it's not attaching to any.
Yeah, I don't know. that
We've
y'all
never
can-
done it without an agitator.
And the backwoods, the agitator was me. I had a hope.
Yeah.
So this is the finished product. Barrel aged for at least 2 years. This makes it a straight bourbon whiskey, 95 proof. Yeah, we're excited for you guys to try it.
Tickle. Look at that.
Oh,
Won't that look pretty?
all right. That's what I'm looking for right there.
Thank y'all.
I can smell a real strong smell of corn. Usually with something that's been barreled, you don't get that. You just get barrel.
Well, I'm picking up some fruity notes. And then I'm picking up peanut butter and jelly, maybe.
Jimmy Red corn has just this rich peanut butter aroma to it, which is kind of odd.
It's real dry. It finishes off really good. It goes away and it wants you to taste it again.
That's what's cool about it.
I have never tasted any sort of alcohol made with a corn that was this complex.
What Scott and Ann was doing in Highwire was great. I mean, their bourbon, outstanding. I mean, but they're using like a commercial today, modern day distillery. But I'm trying to recreate the Jim Red Moonshine.
That'd be too doggone good to leave behind right in Sumter.
You know, I think we ought to call Howard up and get him on building us a still for this.
Hello.
Howard,
Where you going on, buddy?
we need to get you build us a still, and you know, we want to have it as authentic as possible. This is a Civil War steel, you know, so it's old school. You know, copper pot, something like 24 inches, 36-inch wide, round, straight out to a condenser. And I'm thinking about something a little different. We're not gonna do propane. We're gonna go back to original wood fire steel. The key part of this steel is the long arm going to the condenser, so this keeps the alcohol out of the flame. So you're gonna have to build like a furnace or something. Lay some brick for me.
Okay, got you.
Right now, we're on our way to see Glenn Roberts at the Longleaf Seed House. He's one of the only people that knows about this corn in Charleston, and it's been a huge part of bringing it back to life. Well, he's got a nice facility here, look like.
All right.
Let's just park right here.
Well, look like they doing
They got some
something
seed
in
going
here.
on. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Got a little shaker going on over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, how you doing?
Oh, there Hey, might cut it off. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Cut it
So
off.
we don't yell at each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, that
That
thing
makes
makes
a lot of
a little
noise.
bit of noise, don't it?
So, Glenn, now that we can hear you, we don't yell at each other. But, you know, what are you doing? You see,
Yeah, we're cleaning rice.
well, rice is all good, but we're looking for some Jimmy Red corn. And that's what I'm hoping
We
you got.
have tons of Jimmy Red corn.
Outstanding.
Hey.
Tickle now, we're down here in Charleston. We're trying to recreate the Jimmy Red corn moonshine. So we actually need to know the science of this corn.
You came here to the right place because this is where Jimmy Red seed got distributed for the first time. When I started, which was a quarter century ago, it was only bootleggers had it. We got a little seed from everybody and started growing it, and now it's growing exponentially because the hooch is so good.
Well, can we see some?
Got corn, glad to share
All
it.
right.